everyone.
I have a confession to
Hello.
make. I am a far left progressive, and I'm very happy that Germans are going to the street right now. Because there's a big rise of fascism in Europe. People that are on the right side of the political spectrum, people that are anti-immigration, people that are mad at everything. You know, even in the Netherlands, the prime minister or the president right now is a far right person. In a country like the Netherlands, that you would think that the Netherlands is like woke or not woke, but like progressive. They elect a far right leader. And even in Sweden right now, some people are mad that there's too much immigration. I think immigration is probably the reason why fascism is in the rise in Europe. I think mostly because people read story about immigrant doing bad things, and then they're gonna try to generalize everything and be extremely mad at them. In America, people become fascist for religious reason. It's more like imposing a Catholic point of view to the rest of the country. In Europe, it seemed like it's more like immigration based. Europe has opened their door to a lot of immigration, and it creates a situation where some people get mad and they get radicalized because of that.
I'm mad too.
What, really? Why?
I don't like immigrants.
Oh, well, that's great. So we have a fascist in the family.
It's only you and me though.
I'm an immigrant. Why you don't like immigrants?
Oh, true. Look, because in Thailand, right, mostly the country around, they just enter and then they work, and then sometimes they make a stupid thing. It's like Thai people going to another country.
Are you mad at them, or you're mad that they have to come illegally here? I mean, what are you mad at?
Actually, I'm mad at everything. I'm mad at... No, especially I'm mad at sometimes when they enter the country and then, you know, even like illegally, but then they got whatever that we also get to like healthcare
Why
stuff
not?
thing.
Why are they gonna get healthcare if you get healthcare?
Because they did not pay like us, right? They're just here to work, thing like that.
Well, they will pay eventually, but they're just trying to survive for now.
No, but basically, I just don't like when they try to be tough, like, come on, Thai people, fight me, thing like that.
Okay. By the way, she has this because she had a tattoo on her lips. So it's going to be better in a few days. She just inflamed. It's not a surgery, okay? It's a tattoo that will make your lips more bright. It's not going to last too long, maybe a year or something. So anyway, let's react to this video. Germany protesting against their 1.5 million people in the street in Germany. I've never seen that.
Ooh.
Protesting, yeah.
Organizers say more than 1.4 million people
1.4.
have taken part in demonstrations against the far right across Germany over the weekend. In Munich, the rally had to be cut short because of overcrowding.
Wow.
The protests were announced at more than 100 locations nationwide. Here in Berlin, thousands of...
Liberté, égalité. I don't know what
Liberté,
AfD. I'm guessing it's something bad. Happy that I don't see cops shooting people in the video. If it was not America, even in Canada, it would be like... In America, they would take people, right? They would bring them in the crowd just to cause chaos. People that don't believe in the cause, they like infiltrators. They put them in the crowd just to create chaos, to find a reason to end the protest. This is very well documented, that things that happen
outside the
in
parliament.
America.
The outrage follows reports that members of the Alternative for Germany party had a meeting with far-right extremists to discuss plans for mass deportation of migrants and citizens with foreign roots.
That's what I was talking about in the intro. It's not just Germany. Even in a country like Sweden, all over Europe, people, the reason why they are becoming fascist is the fear of immigration. Sometimes they will come from Syria, Lebanon, they will come from poor country, they will go to Germany. Sometimes they will struggle to find a job at the beginning, they will struggle to be in Germany because like it's not their country, right? So they need to adapt. So at the beginning, if you don't help them, they're gonna end up fighting for their survival, right? Especially when you go to a country and then you say, the education you got in your country, you need to do it again here. You need to help people to uplift themselves. You need to understand that not everyone starts at the same starting point, and some people need a little push to get to the level of the German people once they immigrate.
I saw a lot of news, right? They burn the flag, blah, 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 trying to destroy stuff. Like in France, sometimes try to burn.
I don't know what happened in France.
You know, like it's also about like religion. But sometimes when I saw that people, right, that kind of group, terrorists, it's always going to come, they are always going to talk about that religion.
Yeah, because I'm trying
to make trouble.
Yeah, but because I'm trying to think about my own bias, right? After 9/11, the World Trade Center, right? People were extremely Islamophobe in Canada, anti-Muslim. And me, I was a teenager and I become hateful for no reason, right? People were extremely stressful. They were like making fun of them. Everyone, it was difficult for Muslim people in Canada. We have gone a long way, but there's still that sentiment, anti-Muslim sentiment.
Our political correspondent Thomas Sparrow was at the demonstration in Berlin, and he joins us now for more. Good to see you, Thomas. So give us a sense of what the protest in the German capital was like. So who were the people who came out today, and what was their overarching message?
Well, the organizers presented the protest today here in Berlin as an alliance of different organizations, mainly civil society organizations. But what was evident today in the streets here in Berlin, in the center of Berlin, was that it was more than just civil society organizations. You could see older people coming to the protest as well, families with young children holding different messages and banners. And what I think unites all of these people who attended this protest not far away from where we're standing now is their rejection of the far-right party AfD, in particular after those revelations that you mentioned, that secret meeting that was attended by members of the AfD with extremists to present that master plan for mass deportations here in Germany if the AfD actually comes to power. So this is certainly what united them all. Here, the big question, Mariana, is what impact this will have in the short term, but also in the medium to long term as well.
I don't know if you guys think about it. Europe is the last bastion, right? If Europe fall to right-wing ideology, it's over because it's already taking over in North America. In Asia, people are mostly conservative. It's going to be hell for a lot of people that are on the fringe side, on the minority side. It's going to be a nightmare. There's no other place in the earth that is more progressive than Western Europe, especially. If Europe fall, if a country like Germany fall to the right, there's no hope for the rest of the world because there's nothing else. Maybe like, I don't know, Australia, there's nowhere else. If Europe fall, I don't know what's going on.
Well, Thomas,
if Europe
as
fall,
we also mentioned, it wasn't only in Berlin. There were an estimated 1.4 million people that turned out to protest all over Germany in different cities throughout the weekend. And it really seems like it's as if something has hit a nerve. Why do you think it is in this moment something that people care about so deeply?
Well, you had World War II.
It absolutely hit a nerve here in Germany. You can see that by the fact that you had so many protests, and not only in big cities like Berlin or Hamburg or Cologne, but also in smaller cities across the country. It has to do, obviously, with the fact that Germany has this very difficult, this troubling and problematic past, and a meeting of far-right extremists planning a master plan to deport millions of foreigners actually brought back memories of that very dark past. It's actually very problematic to think that the meeting in November took part only a few kilometers away from where the Nazis in 1942 planned their final solution. And that is something that is for many here outrageous, something that cannot happen again, something that cannot be repeated. So that's, I think, the main reason why these protests hit a nerve here in Germany, but it also has to do with the fact that the AfD is actually second in nationwide polls here in the country with around 22%, and is actually leading in polls in the eastern part of the country where regional elections will be held later in the year.
And Thomas, you mentioned it yourself.
You guys, if that party AfD win, you guys are, it's over. I mean, it's over. In the Netherlands already, as I said, in Sweden, they're starting to get mad about immigration.
Seems like it's gonna win.
They're second, but they win in some part of the East Germany. But I'm starting to lose hope into like pretty much the whole planet. Honestly,
the big question, of course, is whether these protests are going to have an impact on how people actually end up voting. What's your take? Do you think this kind of mass movement of people is likely to turn at least some away from the AfD, or could it have the opposite effect?
Experts are saying, Mariana, that it probably won't change the minds of those who have voted for the AfD for a long time now.
But this is true. It's like in the US, people that like Trump, right? It's like a cult, right? When you have a charismatic cult leader, you can convince the mass of pretty much anything. And once you're caught into that web, especially imagine that you're a young guy, you're like 20 years old, didn't have a lot of success in life, you didn't have success with women, you struggle to keep a job, and then you have someone that come along and say, hey, all of your problem, it's not about you. You don't need to do self-reflection. It's about your country. It's about people around you that are making it impossible, and we're gonna fix your problem. We're gonna put everyone away, and you're gonna be able to be surrounded by people that think like you, and everything will be okay. Instead of self-reflection, people get caught up into those kind of a dream projection, and
So voters that would not
here.
necessarily think that these allegations or these revelations could change things. But where experts think that there could be a change is in people who are undecided. So undecided voters who probably are now thinking that they can go to the polls, even if it is to vote against the AfD. So this is where experts actually do see a possibility for change. It will be interesting, however, to see whether these protests continue in the next few weeks, in the next few months. The elections in the regions in the eastern part of the country are actually in September, so there's still quite some time to go. It'll be interesting to see how this movement here in Berlin and in other parts of the country will continue in the near future.
That's my Coloc from the Netherlands. Right wing in the Netherlands and in Germany. What's going on?
Well, yeah, I don't know about Germany, but I know about the Netherlands. And in the Netherlands, like, it's a far right-winged guy, like, with really weird hair, which is elected, I think. So he won, like, he's the biggest party. It's mostly because people are mad about immigration, because we have big problems with finding houses for people. So a lot of people are still living with their parents, so they can just not find a house because of the immigrants.
Family arrived in the Netherlands, the immigrant, right? Mm-hmm. Do they get enough help from the government or from it to succeed, or like, you know?
Ooh, well, yeah, they do get a lot of help, and like that's a good thing, I guess. That they do get a lot of help, but like they also do get houses like really fast and everything, which is also good. It's needed. Like the government decides, like, okay, you can stay here, then they should get houses. But the problem is, like, a lot of Dutch people also need houses, and so there are just not enough houses for everybody to get one if there are so many immigrants coming in.
So what is the solution without kicking everyone out?
It's so difficult, right? Because like these people, like, they deserve to have a good life as well, just as much as every Dutch person. But in general, it's like really hard to just let everybody in. Yeah, when you don't have like all the houses and everything to let them in, it's difficult. Like. It's I guess the same as in Thailand, right? Like we are in Thailand, and I cannot just get a job and everything here. And it is to protect the Thai people, and so like that part makes sense. But it's really sad because these people come from like
especially some that come from country in war, for example,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, so that's so sad. Like I don't know what the solution is, because it would be so amazing if we could give them the life they just deserve, as well as every Dutch people, because like I believe like Dutch people didn't do anything right to be born in the Netherlands, and somebody born in a war zone didn't do anything wrong to be born there. It's just pure luck. So why do Dutch people have more rights than they have?
Yeah.
Right. So, but on the other hand, it's not possible, right? You cannot just let everybody in who wants to have a better life and give it to them. Like because of climate regulations, we weren't allowed to build houses for a long time, for example. So that made it so we're just way behind in building houses anyway because of regulations.
After watching the video, have you changed your mind about immigration?
No, but to be honest, I'm quite racist, right? Because
do you know why you're not racist? Because a racist person would never admit it. So you're not racist.
No, because white people, for me, they are not immigration.
They're not immigrant?
That is so weird.
Okay, so you believe like in selective immigration. Only for the people that come here with money. So you like Donald Trump. You would love Donald Trump because that's what he said.
I love shopping, man.
When Donald Trump talked about Norway and Sweden, he never said that they should not come. He's always talking about people from Muslim country and things like this.
It's about using it because Thailand is the country that we rely on like tourist economy a lot. So we need white people, rich Chinese. My elder was worse. They not accept anything. They don't accept any immigrant or anything. They even more.
So the idea we talked about earlier when I said that, like, what about bringing people from poor country? They're just trying to flee a different situation and then to come here and to get a better life. What's wrong with that?
No, I don't want it. They're supposed to handle themselves, and especially if they have different religion, they should go to the same country with the same religion. It's gonna be better. Like we are first seeing things, in the south of Thailand about the terrorist thing that's been going for many years.